Did Kim Go-eun just shade Lee Min-ho in her latest interview? Fans can't stop talking about it. Clips are being replayed. Words are being dissected. And the online debate? It's louder than ever. It all started when Kim Go-eun sat down for what was supposed to be a routine promotional interview. The atmosphere was light. The questions were expected, until the conversation turned to the topic of ideal co-stars and romantic chemistry on screen. The interviewer smiled, leaning in. They mentioned her previous dramas, her award-winning performances. And yes, they brought up that drama. The one that paired her with Lee Min-ho. The one that made fans ship them endlessly, both on and off screen. Kim Go-eun's expression shifted. It was subtle, barely noticeable unless you were really watching. Her eyes softened, then sharpened. And then she answered. She didn't mention his name, not once. Instead, she spoke about working with people who understand boundaries. She talked about valuing professionalism over creating illusions. And she said clear as day, sometimes what people see on screen is not the same as what actually happens when the cameras stop. Those words hit the internet like wildfire, because for years, the Lee Min-ho and Kim Go-eun pairing has been one of K-drama's most romanticized duos. Fans replay their scenes, analyze their body language, and insist there's something deeper. But now, this comment felt different, almost like a gentle, carefully wrapped reminder that not everything is as perfect as fans believe. Within hours, hashtags started trending. Hashtag Kim Go-eun interview. Hashtag Lee Min-ho shade. Hashtag respect the truth. Some fans defended her. They argued she wasn't shading him. She was just being honest. They said she was speaking in general terms about the industry as a whole, about how acting is acting and real life is real life. But others weren't so sure. To them, the omission of his name was deliberate, a silent signal, a quiet distance that spoke volumes. This isn't the first time Kim Go-eun has been praised for her directness. She's known for her grounded personality, her unwillingness to play into fan service beyond what's necessary. She chooses her words carefully, but when she does speak, they carry weight. And here's where it gets more interesting. Lee Min-ho, in his own interviews over the past year, has often spoken warmly of her. He's mentioned their teamwork. He's said she's a talented actress. He's even shared that they stayed in touch after filming ended. But lately, he's been quieter, more reserved when her name comes up. No playful anecdotes, no open admiration, just polite nods and short replies. Could this be connected? Could there have been a shift behind the scenes that fans don't know about? In the world of K-drama, on-screen chemistry is everything. It sells the story, it draws in audiences, and it blurs the lines between fiction and reality. For some actors, it becomes a kind of performance that extends beyond the set. For others, it ends the moment the director says cut. Kim Go-eun's comment about valuing boundaries felt like a subtle declaration that she falls firmly in the latter category. The reaction has been intense. Some fans feel hurt. They've built an entire dream around the idea of her and Lee Min-ho being close, perhaps even secretly together. They see her words as breaking that illusion. Others applaud her. They see strength in her refusal to be defined by ship culture. They admire her for separating work from personal life. They say it's refreshing, even brave. But here's the truth. Shade or not, her comment forces us to look at something we often overlook. Actors are real people, not just characters we adore. When two people create magic on screen, it doesn't automatically mean that magic exists when the cameras stop rolling. And sometimes, keeping a healthy distance isn't about dislike, it's about self-preservation. Still, timing matters. And this interview comes after months of speculation. Rumors that the two were spotted at the same events. Unconfirmed reports that they'd met privately. Viral posts claiming they were seen together in places they weren't filming. The shippers had been hopeful. They were looking for any sign, any hint that their favorite on-screen couple might be real. And now, instead of confirmation, they got a wall. A polite, well-crafted wall. In the entertainment industry, this kind of move isn't random. Public image is managed with precision. Statements, especially in high-profile interviews, are rarely accidental. If Kim Go-eun wanted to avoid fan assumptions, this was the way to do it. A single statement that says enough without saying too much. But if it was shade, if it was, in fact, a subtle dig at Lee Min-ho, what could have caused it? We don't know. There's been no public fallout, no confirmed disagreement. Both have been professional in every visible way. And yet, fans can't ignore the tension they now feel. The warmth that once seemed effortless now feels distant. The shared smiles in behind-the-scenes clips seem like memories from another time. Of course, there's another possibility. Maybe it's not about him at all. Maybe Kim Go-eun's comment reflects a broader truth about the pressure female actors face in the industry. The way romantic narratives are pushed onto them, both in roles and in real life. The expectation that they play along with shipping culture, even when it's uncomfortable. If that's the case, then her choice to withhold his name was simply an act of reclaiming her narrative. A quiet way of saying, I am more than the relationships you project onto me. Still, the internet rarely accepts subtlety. What was meant as a personal boundary becomes a public debate. What was meant as a general truth becomes a headline. For Lee Min-ho's part, he hasn't commented. No cryptic posts, no clarification, just silence, which, in its own way, fuels the conversation even more. Because in the absence of direct answers, speculation thrives. And speculation is exactly what keeps this story alive. So did Kim Go-eun shade Lee Min-ho? Or did she simply remind us all of something we tend to forget? That the people behind our favorite characters have lives, thoughts, and boundaries that exist far beyond the screen? Perhaps we'll never know for sure. Perhaps the truth is far simpler than the narrative we've built. But one thing is certain. This interview has left a mark. Not because of what was said outright, but because of what was left unsaid. And sometimes, it's the silence that speaks the loudest. If you enjoyed diving into this story, don't forget, your voice matters here. Share your thoughts in the comments. Was it shade? Was it honesty? Or was it simply the reality of two actors moving on with their own lives? Your opinion could be the one that changes the entire discussion. So go ahead, tell us what you think. And while you're here, subscribe for more stories that take you behind the headlines, beyond the scripts, and into the moments that have everyone talking.